Hi, I'm Alicia from the Greenock. This month's community pie we are doing with Lachlan from Hentley Farm. My dad, before we purchased the pub, we used to fabricate all their wine tanks, so we've had that relationship. And then probably 3.5 years ago when we actually took on the pub, my son Jolyn got offered an apprenticeship working with the guys in the kitchen. So then it just seemed normal to get the guys on board to do one of our community pies. Yeah, and here we are.
Yes, thank you. It's very nice to be involved. I guess backstory on myself is I was born and raised, born in Gawler and raised in Freeling, so I know the area very well, and as a typical young person in this area, sort of grew up always wanting to leave. So I did exactly that and travelled the world and lived overseas and lived in the cities and all of that, and eventually came back to the Barossa and came back to open Hentley Farm restaurant in 2011, 2012. So then skipping forward to that, we'd sort of built this very small restaurant that eventually started winning awards, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and we started hiring. We went from a team of 3 chefs to now sort of 10 or 11 chefs. Maybe 5 staff in the restaurant to about 20 something now, within a space of about 5 or 6 years. So in the last couple of years we then met Jolyn through playing a bit of pool down at the Greenock. Eventually we got talking, and I think what sold it for me with Jolyn is that he was from Freeling, and I don't know, maybe it's me feeling a bit sentimental, but I thought maybe it sort of makes a lot of sense here that after all my time here, and there's this young guy that was at the exact age I was at when I got into the industry, that 16, 17 mark. It was kind of perfect for us to give Jolyn the opportunity, and yeah, luckily he's worked out to be a pretty good kid, so, and I get along with him pretty well, so it's a pretty easy relationship. So I'm very happy to be doing the pub, hopefully doing Jolyn proud.
So this month you've chosen to do a curry sausage potato pie. Yep. Give us a bit of a rundown as to how that was created. Is there a story behind it?
Yeah, I guess the story is, as a kid, Mum would always make, like, I think the standard Australian mum curry of like whatever meat, I don't remember what it would have. It would have been beef and potato and carrots, and it's the sort of curry powder curry, homemade Australian mum curry. And the best part of it was when it would go cold, and we'd then put that mix under puff pastry and just bake it the next day. And it was the sort of thing that, as a kid, I was very keen on cooking, but I couldn't make pastry and I couldn't make the curry, but the next day I could put the 2 things together and bake them and do that. So as soon as we started talking about this, I thought about all these other flavours, and the chef here were trying to throw out all the weird and wonderful stuff. And I thought, well, if I was going to sit down and eat a pie, I'm craving that nostalgic kind of young kid curry pie from Freeling days, so that's what I thought I'd do. And then just serve it with some curry mayonnaise and just some greens that we've just picked from the garden out here, so it looks like we'll probably have to be picking you guys greens every day.
We won't complain.
Yeah.
Now, the charity that you have chosen for all the proceeds to go to this month is Kickstart?
Yep, Kickstart for Kids. We've been involved with Kickstart a couple of times over the years, where we sent a lot of our staff down in general to cook barbecues and things like that. We just think it's a charity that when you go down there and you witness it firsthand, you can tell that the money that's going into the charity is going into actually something very obvious. You can sort of see it firsthand. It doesn't go through a bunch of chains to get there.
So for those who don't exactly know where Hentley Farm is, where would you best direct?
So if you're at the Greenock, you literally just have to drive towards Stepfordsfield, and the first bit of dirt road that you see, the sweeping bend, you turn down there, you're at Hentley Farm. So location-wise, I think for people travelling to the Barossa, really the Greenock and Hentley Farm, I think, sort of go together, and this is why I'm always a big promoter of the Greenock, is because people that have had lunch here and they've indulged, and it's this huge sort of lurdy-dur thing with chefs and all of this, afterwards the last thing they want to do is probably do that again for dinner. Like whenever I dine here, I just want to go home and sleep, and then probably have a schnitty or a steak or something. So I think our locations, what is it from here? 5 minutes or something to Greenock, if that. Our locations sort of really work together, and I think that's where our relationship works together well. And it's a great promotion for people coming to the Barossa. They might have originally come here for Hentley Farm, but they get to experience what you guys do and move into the Barossa. And so I think this Western Ridge, you and us, are kind of doing the whole Barossa a favour. Sorry, Barossa locals watching that going, no you're not.
So the pie is only for a limited time, so come on in, taste the pie and grab a beer or wine while you're at it.
Greenock any other night of the week.
Got to throw that one in there.
Well, it's the closest thing to me, so it is.